Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to live stream number 2 for this week. Not number 2 ever.
No.
I don't know what it is ever. Like 8, 9, 10, something like that.
I don't know, but I know it's number 2 for this week, and I've enjoyed doing them this week.
Yes.
Like, that was like a fun thing to look forward to this week, each time. Yeah.
So our first one was back on Wednesday evening, and you can go back and check that out if you missed it. We had a lot of good discussion. A lot of people joined us Wednesday evening. A lot of good questions, and most of the discussion centered around returning to cruising.
Right, because there's kind of a lot going on with that right now, which is super exciting. It's been what we've been waiting to hear, so we're excited to share it with you guys.
Absolutely. So, start sending those questions, letting us know if you have any comments, thoughts, or feelings on anything. If you want to discuss something, doesn't have to be cruising, doesn't have to be a race car, could be anything.
What is that from?
That's The Office.
Oh yeah, when it's with the screens
Bouncing into the corner.
and they maybe a race car.
Oh,
it doesn't have to be a race car. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. So, let's get started here. Already getting some comments here. Ken says, hi, friends. Hello, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Thanks for joining us. Don says, good morning /afternoon /evening. That's right. We're worldwide.
Good morning,
World
afternoon,
star.
evening.
Good morning to you, Don. Good afternoon here. Chase says, hey, guys. Hey, Chase. Thanks for joining us
thanks
again.
for coming.
Appreciate it. Traveling Medic Sam and April say, hey, you two. Hey, you two.
Hey, you.
Thanks for joining us.
Nice to see you.
John Panabaker says, hi from York, Pennsylvania. Hello again. John, thank you for joining us.
I bet it's much chillier there than it is here.
Yeah, it was maybe a little crisper yesterday, but it's starting to get hot and humid again.
Crisp.
Yeah, it's a little crisper. little bit.
Schmidgen.
Hey, there's Jason. Hello, Matt and Chelsy.
Hi,
Made
Jason.
it. Hope you both are well. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Yay.
Glad you could make it.
We're
Thank
doing
you.
good too.
Yeah. Clodagh says evening from Belfast. Hello. Is
Hi.
it Belfast or Belfast? I think most Americans say Belfast, but I thought I've heard people say Belfast.
I don't know.
Ireland. Either way.
Is it which is correct? Is it fast like speed or is it
Like breakfast.
like breakfast?
So,
I don't know.
either way, thank
Tell
you
us.
for joining us.
We want to know. We want to be correct.
Yes, I do want to be correct. John says it is rainy and gross in York.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, that doesn't sound fun. We can relate to that.
Yeah, we know what that's like.
It does get rainy and gross here a lot too.
That's like our ongoing lifetime joke, is that Florida is the sunshine state. It shouldn't be called that. Like,
I mean,
especially in the summer, it just rains every day.
I mean, here's the thing. It is always the sun shines every day. It's just, but it also rains almost every day too. I mean, not every day, but a lot.
It's not like SoCal where it's like they hardly ever get any rain.
It's funny. Like, I feel like there's two different Floridas. It's like Florida, what people think it is, like especially people who don't live here or haven't lived here before, and then there's the real Florida.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they're completely different things.
That was always my favorite joke when I worked at Walt Disney World, and I would be, because I worked in resorts and the hotels, and when people would show up and it was like pouring rain, and I'd say, like, yeah, welcome to the Sunshine State. They didn't seem to think it was that funny, but there were also people who legitimately thought, not as a joke, legitimately thought Walt Disney World controlled the weather at Walt Disney World.
And by that, you mean like they were irritated with you that it was raining?
No, by that I mean they legitimately thought that Walt Disney World could control the weather. I'm not being facetious. People really believe that.
What? This whole time, like when you would say that, I thought it just meant like they were irritated with you.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, people would be snarky, but no, people actually think that Disney, because they control everything else in their environment, they thought that they also controlled the weather.
I think that's just people being irritated and like being like hyperbole.
So I can tell you right now that Walt Disney World is like smack dab in the I-4 corridor, which I can tell you gets nailed more than anything else.
You don't know what's going to happen there.
And weather-wise, like, it'll always get hit. So that's that. Chase says getting tattooed right now.
Whoa!
Wow.
Well, thanks for watching us while you're getting your tattoo.
That's a first.
Man.
You'll go down in the history books. The annals of Hoffman Happy Travels history.
Honestly, I feel honored that, like, you thought of us right now, like, as you're getting, like, you're having, like, a situation going on, you're like, oh, I still want to see them. That's cool.
Yeah, we have to ask, though, like, what is the tattoo?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't mind sharing with us, we'd be interested to know.
Yeah.
Clodagh says it is Belfast.
Belfast, like speed.
And she's spread it out here into the two parts. Belfast.
Cool. Well, we will
Belfast.
say it that way from now on.
So the people I heard saying Belfast must have been thinking that Disney controlled the weather.
they're all in the same category.
Traveling Medic Sam and April say, pretty day here in Tampa would be a great day for sailing. Sailing takes me away. Oh my gosh, wouldn't it? At this point, any day would be a pretty day for sailing. But yes, it is. It is sunny, and we're not in Tampa, but it is sunny and
it's been a nice day so far.
Calm, yeah.
Here.
It's just getting a little, like I said, a little hot and humid. Nothing like what it is in the summer, but
yeah, it's not middle July hot. It's just like medium hot.
just a little stitious. John says, yeah, we come down to Orlando once a year, but in mid to late March with the kids, so it's always nice. Yeah, that's a great time to visit.
That's one of the best times to go.
It's busier because everyone's on spring break.
Right, but spring, I feel like spring, the 2 weeks of spring that we do get, like real spring, I feel like that's the nicest weather we have. Also, when we get like a little smidgen of fall.
For some reason, it seems like we always get more spring than fall.
I think it's because, I mean, I'm not like a climatologist or whatever. I'm not a weather person, but it's almost like because we just had like winter and, you know, like the time when it actually is really cold, it's like we're coming off that, so it's like we're more on the cold scale. It's like we're teetering off the cold scale, whereas once you get into the hot scale, it's really hard to get out of the hot scale.
Fall
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah, like because we're used to hot, so yeah, so it's still being a little cool and coming out of that would seem longer. Fall in Florida is basically like this: you get up one day, you walk outside, and you go, oh, wow, there's a little breeze, there's a little crispness there. It's almost like a Jeff Goldblum thing, like oh wow, this is wonderful, this is fantastic, a little this, a little that, coming in, wonderful feelings, and then it's gone.
And there it is.
It gets hot again.
Yeah.
That's fall. So just so you know, fall, summer, that's Florida.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then like winter for us.
What I don't like the most is that our cold always comes after Christmas. I always want it to be cold for Christmas because it's like, ooh, Christmas cold. It's supposed to be, but our cold time isn't until like January and February, and then it's like, well, Christmas is over. I don't care about being cold anymore. Like, get warm. I'm
Christmas
done with
is
this.
canceled. You can't cancel the holiday. Lots of Office references today. And lots of weather discussion every day.
Yeah.
Chase says, my first tattoos ever, and they are Harry Potter related on my right forearm. That's
cool.
That's awesome.
Wow, what a good choice.
Wicked. Very cool.
Wow.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us. We appreciate it.
And your first one, I hope it's not painful.
Yeah.
Like, I hope you're doing okay.
We don't have any ink, so we can't speak to that.
I don't know what it's like. I know what shock feels like, but I'm sure that's worse because it's like lots of them. But we hope you're doing okay.
Yeah. Mr. Cruz Fever says, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. MCF back. Number 1. Traveling Medic Sam and April agreed. Great time to come for John when he mentioned coming to Florida in March. It is a great time to come. Mr. Cruz Fever says, if things were normal, I would be on Carnival Breeze. This would be boarding day for him. On the breeze.
Darn.
You were going to all those cool islands, too. So that's a real shame.
We're sorry. Yes. We're glad you're here with us, though.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Hopefully that day will come soon.
Yes, I think it will.
We
have some more updates on that, by the way.
We do. We're optimistic.
When we get caught up with it. So we talked about a lot of things the other night, but there's even more now. Some pretty substantial stuff. So let's just get caught up. We got a couple more here. JC says, I'm jealous. It's getting cool up here in New Jersey, and I already can't stand it.
Oh, no.
See, like, we're the opposite, right? Because we're like, please, like, take it down a notch here.
I want it down a notch, but I don't want, like, the notch fully turned. Because I get cold really easy. So, like, I'm cold in, like it's 70 degrees, and I'm like, well, in the 70s, it's good. It gets to low 70s, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting pretty chilly. And then anything beyond that, I'm an icicle.
It's like Miles Finch, an elf. I'll be there tomorrow. 74 degrees.
74 degrees.
But when we were up in Ellijay and Blue Ridge in North Georgia this past weekend, that weather was sublime.
Yeah, that was nice.
And Chelsy posted some cool pictures she took on Instagram. So check out our Instagram if you want to see that from when we were up in Ellijay, but not of us, of Bandito.
Yeah, little pup went. He had a good time.
He did. He had a great time.
He liked the weather too.
Yes, he did. You could tell. You can just tell.
Yeah.
Traveling Medic Sam and April said, excuse me, Wayfair.
How
They've got just what I need. Apparently they want to let me know. How unprofessional of me. See, I remembered to turn the volume down on the iPad and completely forgot about my phone.
Yeah, what a slacker.
Well, yeah. So that reminds me of a quick little anecdote. When we grew up in a small town, and there was a regional newspaper there. And if you got straight A's or AB honor roll even, they would take your picture every 9 weeks and put it in the paper.
Right.
So we were like frequent visitors to that.
Right.
One time, I had a shirt that said Slacker 101, and it was like video games and stuff like that. And so I'm like front and center in the straight A's picture, like, look at these kids and they're doing well in their academics. Slacker 101.
For your AB honor roll picture.
And I think another one it was Bart Simpson playing video games, and it was like player or something.
Did you wear
like
that to your Terrific Kids ceremony too?
Probably. I'm curious, do other people know what Terrific Kids is? Like,
yeah, is that just like
around the country?
Regional thing for us?
I'm sure it's probably not in other countries, although you probably have something similar.
Yeah, for us it was like it was like Kid of the Month essentially for your class.
Who was very well behaved and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like was trying really hard or something.
But it's always funny because they would have a ceremony to like honor each person, and the teacher would write a little blurb about the kid, but each one sounded almost exactly the same. It was like, James is a true joy to have in class. It's an honor. He sets the example. There would like be different things, but then they would always end the same way. He truly is a terrific kid. And you just heard that like 30 times throughout this thing.
Like the template, like the paper that the teachers had to turn in, it had like white space, and then the very end, like it was typed in. Did you
when you were a teacher, did you do Terrific Kid?
I didn't. It wasn't Terrific Kid, but it was something like that. It was like I don't remember what it was called, but it wasn't called Terrific Kid, but it was basically that. So it didn't have that blurb that he truly is or she truly is a terrific kid. It just was right what we wanted to write.
I was the in-school suspension person when I got hired at my old elementary school, so I was kind of the opposite of that. Like, who did bad? Who's serving time in the clink?
Yeah, and I was in kindergarten like, yay! Everyone's great!
So that's fun. Wow, we really got off topic there. What were we even talking about?
About you being a slacker and a professional with your phone.
Wayfair got us off track here.
Yeah, blame Wayfair.
They really better have just what I need. Let's see what it is. Savings on 8x10 area rugs. So, there you go.
We don't need that.
No, we don't. Traveling Medic Sam in April said, that sucks, Mr. Cruise Fever, about his cruise being canceled, and he was going to go today. Our Thanksgiving cruise on the Celebrity Edge just got canceled too.
Oh, we're sorry.
Shot through the heart. That's too bad.
But hopefully
too.
Hopefully you can reschedule, and hopefully it's not too far away.
Gobble gobble. That always makes me think. Now when we talk about Thanksgiving, because you always think of turkey, but now I think of Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Charles dressing up as the turkey.
Oh,
gobble gobble.
That one was a good one. Man, that's a good show.
All right. Chase says, not painful at all for his tattoos.
Oh, good. We're glad.
Just enjoying watching my favorite channel.
Yay!
Thank you so much. So what's your favorite channel that you're watching in addition to this live?
You get it. You get it.
Hardy har har. Cherry? I'm not sure. Let me know. I'm going to say cherry, probably, because it is with a C. Still hitting hundreds here in Arizona.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys get that dry heat out there.
Yeah.
It's different.
We've been in Arizona once, and it was quite hot.
But we really liked it.
We did.
We went to Williams, Arizona.
Yeah, we went.
Not Winslow, not standing on a corner.
No.
Like the Eagles.
But we didn't stop. But we passed by Winslow, I think
so.
Yeah.
But we stayed in Williams, Arizona.
we stayed in Williams. It was when we went to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, right before, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was back in 2017, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We did a 3-week road trip from Florida with my parents and my grandmother as well, and our dog Bandit, who you know, and my parents' dog Ruff. And we went from here all the way out, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico. And yeah, so we kind of just did like a little bit of Route 66 stuff, went to the Grand Canyon, and then we turned and kind of went through Colorado, Utah, ended up at Yellowstone for a few days, went on up and hit Glacier National Park for several days, which we had been to Yellowstone before.
Right.
Loved it.
I loved it, yeah.
Was glad to go back. And then this was our first time at Glacier.
I really loved it.
Will not be our last. That was incredible. The
Yeah.
Grinnell Glacier hike.
Was so cool.
Well, that was fantastic. And we also went up into Canada.
Which was our first time in Canada.
Yeah, for a few days we went up there and then drove all the way back. So
Yeah.
3 weeks to do that.
It was a big trip, but we saw a lot of things in that trip.
We did.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was
If you
really
want an idea of it, that was actually our first ever video posted to this channel.
It wasn't a vlog. It was just like a little like clip series
Like
of
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
Montage.
It was before we figured out what we were doing.
Yeah.
But
Just filmed it on our GoPro.
But it was. I mean, still saw a lot of beautiful sights
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
So you can go back. It's the very first video on this channel. You can find it there and see what that was about.
First one.
Yeah. Mr. Cruz Fever says it was 8 days, Eastern Caribbean, St. Martin, St. Kitts, San Juan, and Grand Turk. Very similar
Wow.
to the itinerary we had on Anthem of the Seas back in January/February.
Yeah.
We did not go, of course, to Grand Turk, but we did all those other ones as well as, Antigua and St. Lucia. So, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, we're
But
sorry.
maybe next time.
I'm just sending good thoughts into the world soon. Cruises.
Well,
soon,
it worked on the
cruises soon.
live stream the other night because someone had mentioned that they were hoping their airline credit would be extended, and we sang the Phoebe's "Good Luck" song, and then it did.
So do we need to sing it again?
Good luck,
Oh,
good luck. We all wish you good luck. So yeah, there we go. The powers that be. Chase says, "Yeah, here in South Carolina, like Hamilton, there is terrific kids every 9 weeks." So yeah, same exact thing.
So
Same exact thing. Dawn says, "We didn't have that when I was in school, but that was a while ago." Cry laugh emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't that long ago, Dawn. Young at heart, right?
That's all that matters.
Marcia says, "We have our school in our district, and all the school news is there in Bayshore, New York." So kind of like the same thing that we were talking about with the news and doing the. I'm sure they have similar announcements, grades, and
Sure.
well-behaved children, and extracurriculars, and stickers.
Stickers.
JC says, "I still say late spring/early summer for cruises to restart in the U.S., but are you thinking that at this point?" No. So first of all, again, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know for sure until we know for sure. But actually, no, I'm thinking December.
If it kind of seems like if everything goes well,
Which it is so far.
that'll happen.
Yeah.
So, do you want to get into?
So basically, we kind of talked about it the other night, but there's been some, let's kind of recap. The no sale order was set to expire at the end of September. CDC wanted to extend it into February. The White House said, no, you can't do that. You can only extend it through the end of October, which the cruise lines had already voluntarily canceled through if they were members of CLIA, Cruise Lines International Association. So all your big ones, big players, Carnival, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Disney, MSC, blah, blah, blah. And so they came out with that. They were set to have a meeting with the administration, they being the cruise line CEOs and the Healthy Sail Panel and stuff like that, a little while ago, but then the president got coronavirus, got sick, so that got delayed. They did actually just have that meeting with Vice President Pence. Was that yesterday, I think?
I think so.
I sent you that? So they discussed that there. So basically where we're at now is no sale order is through the end of October. Most cruise lines, most, not all, most have now canceled on voluntarily through November, going into December. The big exception being Carnival. They canceled everything through the rest of the year except Miami and Port Canaveral. They haven't canceled those for November yet. But I would anticipate that to happen because usually everything's done in lockstep. Anyway, so right now we're looking at December. It sounds like that's what's going to happen. People have done some sleuthing and seen where it looks like Navigator of the Seas in Miami with Royal Caribbean is probably on the manifest for the dock report. It looks like they're maybe doing some of those sailings that they've talked about where the crew will be acting as the guests. So to kind of test everything, get the protocol in place, get the procedures in place, show that it will work and not spread the illness around. Basically what they're doing in Europe, that's how they restarted over there. Everything's going good there, so they're trying to continue that here. And as Chelsy said, if everything continues to go well, it sounds like we will restart in December. And of course, as we've said, it will be a phased thing. So we're going to start very, very small. Shorter sailings, different, not all the ships, very reduced capacity. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on. But it does sound like that's when we might be getting back up and going here. We've even seen reports that it sounds like the cruise lines are actually bringing their employees back, bringing their crew back from overseas or wherever they live to get back up and training here in the event that they are greenlit to go.
Yeah, that's huge.
In December. So actually, no, I don't think it'll be that long. You know, who knows? We didn't think it was going to be this long to start with, but that's where we're at right now. It's been a lot of good news lately.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like when we say like cruising will be starting back up, or like we definitely think it's, or it seems like this, as Matt said, obviously it's not going to start with 100% of the ships. So, you know, maybe it will start with a couple, and then in terms of what time period it grows to more ships, we don't know that, and I don't even know if the cruise lines really have a plan for that yet. I think obviously they'll do as many as they can.
Sure.
They want as many ships out there as possible, but I think it's really just going to be how it's going with the cruises, but also how it's going just like domestically as well.
Stateside, yeah,
right.
exactly.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
The good thing is, I mean, we have to get one ship in the water before we can get all of them back in the water. So the sooner that we can get one in the water, the better.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
And of course, as I mentioned the other night several times, you know, we talked about Royal Caribbean most frequently. That is by far what we sell the most of as travel agents. As you guys know on our channel, that's what's most prominently featured. So that's what we discuss the most. It's pretty much our specialty. So we're going to kind of focus on them. Expect to see Mariner out of Port Canaveral and Navigator out of Miami for the restart. Not confirmed, but that's what it sounds like.
It definitely, all hints are leading that direction.
3 and 4 night, you know, they do smaller ones. They have been amplified recently, so that offers some more things to do and easier spaces to work with and stuff like that. So all keeping that in mind, I just see the comments here. Don asked, any news from the conference call yesterday with the White House? That's the one we were talking about. JC says, I hope you're correct. We sell Oasis August 2021. Yes, hopefully. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for everyone. John says we're set to sail March 14th on Anthem, and we can't wait. Awesome. You're going to have a great time.
Anthem's great.
Love Anthem. Love Oasis too. Both of them. And then Clodagh says, I read on Facebook that Navigator crew members have to report for duty end of October. Exactly. So that's what we were referencing. I don't know that that has been confirmed, but it certainly seems like, you know, it's typical. I used to cover a sports team, so, you know, in that kind of journalistic field, if you want to call it that. When there's smoke, there's typically fire. So
Right.
In this case, hearing all that makes it seem like that is the situation at hand. So also, big news coming from Royal Caribbean specifically is that they are starting back up, confirmed in December, in Singapore.
Yes. So that's kind of interesting.
Yes, they are going to get back up and running. And
On Spectrum, right?
I think it was Quantum. I think it was Quantum.
Yeah.
Yep, out of Singapore. And it's real interesting what they're doing over there. Basically, you can only sail on it if you are a resident in Singapore, in that area. That's the only people who can go on it, so you can't fly over and go on it from here. And it's only, I believe, all of the sailings that they opened up are only oceanic. So they're just days at sea. You're just on the ship. I don't think it goes to any other ports. Now, that can't be done here. Under current legislation, cruises need to visit a foreign distant port before they can return. And so you wouldn't probably see something like that happen here unless we just changed all the legislation. But that's what they're doing over there. and starting at about 50% occupancy. I know that was a question about how they were going to do that here, what the number was. Now that can change.
Sure.
That's for that ship, that's for those settings, it could be different here.
Mm-hmm.
But we do want to give a shout out to Royal Caribbean Blog. They do a fantastic job of covering things going on with Royal Caribbean and getting all that news out. And they basically confirmed with Royal Caribbean that most things that you're going to see in place for those Singapore sailings, you will also see in place here domestically.
Right, so it gives us an idea of what to expect a little bit. It doesn't mean things can't change or they won't change.
Right.
But at least we can have a little idea of what to expect.
And I think that's the most important thing to hammer home before we start talking about some of this stuff, is that it is going to change, right? This stuff that a lot of people aren't fans of, it's temporary. We talked about this the other night on the live stream on Wednesday, but the cruise lines have to go well above and beyond what would normally be expected because they've gotten the short end of the stick on this whole thing. And the only way they're going to get approved to get up and running is to go overboard and do everything, take all the precautions they can and such. So,
yeah, I think really just the cruise lines are just trying to do the best they can right now to have still a good experience for their guests, but also like make this happen, make the sailings happen again, because there's a little bit of rigidness when it comes to cruising and making it happen. So I think they're just trying to do the best they can and just trying to make it happen. And I think just the best we can do is be as flexible as possible with it. And it will be a little bit different when we are sailing again for a temporary amount of time, but that doesn't mean it's not still going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, with masks and stuff, it's, like, a lot to more to think about, but it was kind of like going back to Disney for the first time. Like, yes, we had to wear masks, and yes, we had to be distant, and yes, we couldn't do character meet and greets and stuff, but it was still so much fun.
It was a great time.
And I think cruising will be the same way. It'll be different, but doesn't mean that it's bad.
You have to look for the positives.
Mm-hmm.
Disney was way less crowded, so Universal way less crowded. We didn't have to wait in lines as long. The ships are going to be way less crowded.
Yeah.
So there will definitely be some concessions to start off with. One thing we have seen confirmed is starting off, laser tag will not be happening,
Right.
which I don't know why. It was very specific. Laser tag, not like everything was laser
I don't
tag.
know. My only thought, and I don't know this. This is just me problem solving in my own head. This is not from anything. I was like, maybe because it's so dark in there when you're doing laser tag, they wouldn't be able to correctly monitor to see if people were still wearing their masks or not.
It could also be in conjunction with the mask regulations, which we're going to talk about more, that they did put on those Singapore sailings and that they've basically confirmed are going to be happening here. You're not going to be, or basically you can't, wear a mask during any rigorous physical activity or where it could get wet. So if you're in the pool, if you're on the water slide, no mask. That's what we've seen, well, you could wear your mask on water rides at the theme parks, but when we went to Volcano Bay, the water park, you couldn't wear your mask in the water.
Right.
So that kind of is similar. And then it said if you're doing a fitness class, if you're working out in the gym, if you're running around the jogging track, anything like that, you can't wear your mask for that either. So it could be something similar, although you're not supposed to run.
I know, they make it very clear that you're not allowed to run during laser tag.
You should just be walking around, but
people still
adrenaline and fog does make it harder to breathe.
But I found it interesting that they mentioned laser tag, but not ice skating, because to me, ice skating is more rigorous.
And to be fair, that may be coming, but we just know laser tag, those rigorous physical activities, you need to do that. So yeah, no laser tag, no parades. Some ships have kind of different parades with different characters, come out, performers. They're not going to have that. Big one on the Singapore sailings is that the Windjammer will not require, but will take reservations, and you will be strongly recommended to make a reservation. Mm-hmm. And that's for breakfast and lunch. It won't be open for dinner.
Right.
So, that's what that is. I don't really.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of one of those things. There's a reason for it. We don't know exactly what the reason is, but but once it'll be nice that the Windjammer won't be as crowded, so that'll be good. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like you know, like it's like, oh yay, but I'm just saying like, you know, that is like a benefit that like, you know, it will be like maybe a little bit freer in there, because usually the Windjammer is one of the most, and if you don't know Windjammer, you know, on Royal Caribbean, that's the buffet.
Yes.
Usually that's the most crowded place on the ship, so I mean that'll at least be good. And so yeah, I think just the reservation is just to kind of keep things a little bit more organized, and they can kind of control the crowd a little bit easier. Kind of like how at Disney World right now, you have to have a reservation to get into the park.
Right.
You know, you can just kind of control and know what to expect a little bit.
And so with the mask, because I know that's been the biggest talking point a lot of people, you know, had issue with it. And to clarify, obviously there's no, if you don't want to wear a mask, that's perfectly fine. That's a fine stance to take. If you don't want to go on vacation, you don't want to spend your money and then have to wear a mask, that's completely understandable. However, you will be required to do so to go on these cruises, and Richard Fain, the CEO of Royal Caribbean, made it clear if you don't want to do that, then you shouldn't go on a cruise right now. Now, obviously, again, that's temporary.
Sure.
Once that goes away, then you would be able to go back and do those things. They have confirmed that they will be mandating that, and so if you don't agree to follow the rules, you don't agree to wear a mask or do any of those other things, you'll be denied boarding. And even if you get on the ship and it sets sail, they will remove you from the sailing if you're not following the required protocol.
Right.
So as we've seen with airlines, you know, a lot of people think they can wear the mask, get on board, and then once the plane takes off, take the mask off, because what are you going to do? Kick me off the flight? Yes, they will turn the plane back around and kick you off, and you will be banned from that airline. That's what they've been doing. So how cruises will go about that, I don't know. I don't know the specifics. They probably won't tell us the specifics because, you know, that's things they usually kind of like to keep close to the chest.
Sure.
But confirmed, you will be expected and mandated to follow those things, and if you don't, there will be consequences.
Yeah, and I think I think they're going to be very open and clear about the rules before you board, so you can have a very clear understanding of what's expected from you and expected from everyone. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things, like we have to be honest with ourselves and think about, like, is this something I'm going to enjoy under this situation, or is this something I'm not going to enjoy under this situation? And if you think it's not something you would enjoy, then, you know, just wait a little bit. This will be over one day. I know it doesn't seem like it all the time, but it will be over one day. And then you can go then. But our point being that it's definitely, it seems like it's going to be heavily enforced because it has to.
Yes.
They can't afford to put people at risk, and they can't afford to shut down again.
Nope.
That's in nobody's interest for that to happen, and that's what will happen if it doesn't go well. So yeah, I think we just have to think about these things and think about, you know, if those rules are something we're willing to follow them or not. If they are, great, we'll go and we'll follow them and everything like that and have a great time. And if not, then we'll catch it next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's get caught up here. Let's see. Don says, which port are you closest to so you can jump on a ship? Don't worry. We said Mariner, Navigator, whatever it is, we can make it work.
That's the nice thing about Florida is that, I mean, it's a long state, but it doesn't take that long to get anywhere.
We can go to any of them. So whichever one we can get on first, that's where
we will
be.
do. That's
Don't
the one
worry.
we'll be doing.
We're going to be doing it because we want to film it. We want to show you. I mean, we want to go. But we want to show everyone what to expect, what to anticipate, how these new things are going to work. And so, yeah, we'll be there.
We will definitely be there.
Don also said, I wonder how quickly I can move to Singapore and become a resident.
Right?
Get on something here.
The cruise itch is real.
For sure.
And strong.
John says, I hope everyone plays by the rules so we can get going. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a group effort. We're all in this together. And as we said, if not, then they won't be permitted to participate. So.
And I think too, it's like a sense of, with, you know, stuff getting enforced and stuff, like, you know, there's the bad stuff of like, oh, somebody's gonna get kicked off if they don't follow the rules. But it's also the good part of that, right? You can go and feel like safe that, you know, like if you're only comfortable being in situations where everyone's wearing a mask, you can feel good that that's happening. I mean, we feel really good at the theme parks because we always see people following the rules.
Yes.
It feels better than our grocery store People follow the rules better in the theme park than in the grocery store because people are enforcing it at the theme park. So, it's a give and take kind of thing, I think.
Definitely. Marcia says Royal Caribbean will have crew cruise as of November. Hopefully Navigator and Mariner will be going out the end of October, but crew only. Right. So that's what we were talking about with those reports, bringing the crew back. They want to test everything. Well, first you got to get people back, get them rehired, make sure they're healthy, right? And get training. They have to have new training and old training if they're new or it's been a while.
Right,
brush up on everything. And then all the new protocols and procedures. So at that point, they will go on those sailings. That's just crew. They're not revenue sailings. They're just crew. And the crew will go out and test all these things. They'll act as both the crew and the guest to see how everything works and make any adjustments as needed. And so I think that's kind of why the cruise lines went ahead and voluntarily took November, because now you're looking at the rest of this month and then the whole month of November to do all of that and get everything back up and running in time for December, assuming they are given the green light.
Right.
So, hopefully that all pans out. We've also heard rumor, and that's strictly all it is.
We started a rumor.
Yeah, speculation that after the crew cruises, it could even be like travel agents.
What did you say? What did you say when you heard that? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
He said, I volunteer as tribute.
Oh, yeah. From that movie I don't even like.
Yeah, you don't...
Well, they're books, but there's movies too.
You know enough quotes to get by.
I can throw a quote from almost anything. Even stuff I haven't even really watched.
Yeah.
But, oh, yeah, I did say that, though. Volunteer as tribute.
That was a good one. And it's true. We will. We'll do it. We'll be the guinea pigs. We don't mind.
Yeah. Well, because we'll do it right, and we'll be safe, and we'll show everyone how they can have fun.
Yeah, I feel...
I don't mind paying to go either, so... Whatever gets us there first.
Yeah, we'll go.
We'll do it.
We're
Do it.
do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Let's see here. Ken says, looking forward to doing absolutely nothing poolside on somebody's ship. Right?
Right? That's a good attitude
That's how
to
we
have.
feel. It's better to be there than here.
You know what the thing is, too? Is that, I mean, to me, a cruise is the most relaxing thing you could do. And, like, relaxation sounds, like, pretty good right now. Like in terms of the state everything's in, like, a little relaxing isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, for sure. JC says, I hope by August when we sail, things will be better in general in this country and around the world and a little bit relaxed on the ship. Yeah, definitely,
Agreed.
right? And I think that's their plan. Get back up and running, show that we can do it safely. The longer things go on and the better things get, and then you start talking about vaccines coming into play and all of that stuff, you eventually start to see everything relax a little bit more, starting to approach what was normal prior.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep a positive attitude going.
Keep it rolling.
Because it is going to happen, my friends, at some point. Code asks, you mentioned Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog. What other cruise vloggers do you follow? That's a good question. Actually, we really don't follow any cruise vloggers. We actually don't even... I mean, we've come across a couple of Royal Caribbean Blogs videos, but we actually just see that they do a good job of breaking news, so we kind of see those reports or things like that.
We mostly just see...
articles.
Yeah, we mostly just see... We honestly don't watch any cruise vlogging. I think usually because we're usually pretty busy with our own. But we just see the headlines in the news that Royal Caribbean Blog puts out all the time because they're always the first one to the game. So that's usually where we see it.
Yeah, but yeah, we actually don't. And it's nothing against anyone. I just like Chelsy said, we're usually just busy doing our own thing. A lot of times, what we watch on YouTube is when we're preparing for a trip, and we don't feel like we need to prepare for a cruise. We want to go do the cruise and film all the stuff ourselves so we can show everyone and have that in kind of like our database for our clients or just our viewers and stuff. So like really most of what we watch on YouTube is just like random things, like if we're considering buying a new camera, getting ideas on that, or when we went to Disneyland.
Right.
That was the most. Even though we did vlog at Disneyland, we wanted to be prepared, and we were.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. We either watch YouTube videos to get prepared for something like that or to get information, or we watch it to get like hyped for something. And if we're getting hyped for a cruise, sometimes like we'll just go back and refer to like one of our own.
Yeah.
Like be like, what was it for this? Like, let's go back and look. I remember we filmed that kind of thing, like just to jog our memory. So it usually just doesn't come up.
Well, and that's the cool thing too about filming your own stuff. You know, people make jokes or whatever, like, "Oh, you watch your own video?" Like, yes, like we watch our video because to us it's kind of like, yes, it's a vlog, it's an informative thing to show you guys, to share with people, to show our clients, but it also, I mean, we are going on these trips and stuff, so it's kind of like a home video that we're just putting on YouTube. So it's good to go back and watch that stuff. So long story short, there's not really too much of a rhyme or reason, but we actually don't really follow or watch any other cruise vlogs.
Yeah, not like really purposefully or anything.
No,
it just doesn't
works
happen
out
to
that
come
way.
up. Yeah.
Just works out that way. That was a good question, though. Chase said, "I'm just so used to wearing a mask now, I don't even realize I have it on."
Same.
Yeah, I've gotten to that point as well.
Same. When we go to Disney now, or when we went several weeks ago, I hardly even noticed it. You know, you think you would a lot because it is warm and hot.
And we went when it was hot.
We went when it was
August,
hot. Hot. But it wasn't bad. I think it's just getting used to it. Yeah, it's just getting acclimated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason says, keeping our fingers crossed for the birthday cruise in February on Navigator, praying for Alaska in July to go. Yeah, there's some hurdles to overcome with that, but hopefully we will get there.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, because people should know this, probably the biggest hindrance with Alaska right now is Canada.
Right.
Because as I mentioned, a cruise needs to visit a foreign distant port or country. And so Alaska typically has a stop in Canada, or it leaves from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And if Canada's still saying no, Alaska's going to be hard to pull off. So
Yeah, and I mean, and it's understandable. It's understandable why Canada
sure
is doing that. Like, it's not like a bad thing necessarily, but like you said, it's just a hurdle.
But hopefully, you know, us here in the States getting back up and running, if we can keep everything going well and we're not having issues, that will encourage other ports to reopen to allow cruises to visit there, and other ports to reopen, like Canada, to let us not only visit but to leave from there.
Right.
Or return there. Or both, as it usually is. Let's see. Dawn says maybe it will be quicker to be a travel agent. Oh, instead of her moving to Singapore
I
and
see.
becoming a resident, she's just going to become a travel agent.
You're scheming today, Don, and I like it.
I love it. I want some more of it. Are you going to work under our agency? You go from client to partner.
To agent,
Yeah. I want to say employee. We like have a... That's weird
Oh,
because we're...
partners.
Well, that's how... Like, we're the only ones that do this, so... We don't have
Yeah.
anyone else working with us, so
Yeah,
everything is equal.
Yeah, Hoffman Happy Travels Cruise Planners is, you're looking at it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Marcia says, yes, she heard that too, about things getting back up and running. Mew S, haven't seen you in a while.
Oh,
hello,
hi.
welcome to coming back. Hi, Matt and Chelsea, keep on traveling. Thank you. Yes,
Thank
we
you.
intend to whenever we are
We are
permitted.
working on it.
We'll go where we can right now, and when we can cruise, we're going to do that too. But thanks for stopping by. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
John says, your blogs are the best anyway.
Oh, well, thank you.
I agree. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, thank you so much. We appreciate
No,
that.
we're glad. I mean, whether that's the thing with YouTube, right? Is that there's really no scale. It's just, there's just a bunch of different things and people pick out what they personally like.
Exactly.
We're just happy that there's people who happen to personally like what we do.
We said that from the beginning. We didn't want to copy anyone, and we wanted to be 100% authentic. Like, what you see is what you get. It's genuine. You get our honest thoughts and feelings and opinions on things.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that obligation to uphold as travel agents with clients who are recommending for things. So at the same time, we didn't want to look at anything as competition. Like, they're a competitor. We don't look at it like that. We just
No.
do our thing. We make our videos. And if you enjoy them, that's great. That's what they're there for.
Well, and that kind of like mindset just kind of gets instilled like beginning with being travel agents too, because being travel agents isn't a competition either.
Yeah.
It's like the whole country, people that we can sell to is our, is potential clients, and there's enough clients to go around where you don't need to compete with each other. So I think YouTube is kind of like the same way. Everybody has something different to offer.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when I was teaching. Like, there are some teachers that were meant to teach those students. Like, they were the right teacher for that student. And I think it's the same thing with travel agents. I think it's the same thing with YouTube.
The weather started getting rough. It is getting overcast very quickly. The breeze is picking up, but it feels really nice. So I'm not gonna.
That happened quickly.
Might get a thunderstorm rolling in here.
We'll see. Well,
thunder rolls.
last live stream we went all the way to dark.
That's right.
So
I don't think we'll be doing that today, but
no, but
might be dark in a different way.
The rain might make it dark.
The Hawk Plays says hello again. Hello, you joined us the other night and back again now for part 2. Thank you so much.
Back.
Robert Edwards says, "Hey guys, sorry I'm late." Hey Robert, again, no late. Always a good time.
No late. We are here. We are all here together.
We appreciate it. And Rinchi coming in with the hello to all the Hoff fans.
Hoff fans.
She came up with that. I think that's a great name.
That's clever, right? Hoff fans instead of Hoff man.
I like that.
But you're the Hoff fans.
That's pretty cool. I really like that.
I do too.
The Hawk Plays asks, "Have you been on the Oasis of the Seas? If so, how was it? My mom wants to go on that cruise, and we want to know if it's a good choice because we would also have to drive from Georgia to New York." So, quick couple of things there. Number one, yes, it was the first Royal Caribbean ship we ever went on, Oasis of the Seas. Number two, we haven't been on it since it was amplified and they added all the new things. So it should be even better than when we went. We were gonna go on it,
and it got canceled.
We know this story, right?
But,
and then it got canceled again.
But we are still playing. But
Livingston? Ocean's 11, my favorite movie.
But we are still planning on going on it when we can.
Yes.
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 Actually, that was Ocean's 12. Anyway, a fantastic ship. It has long been our favorite ship we've been on, and like I said, they added all those other things to it. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. There's nothing like an Oasis-class ship.
Yeah.
And now that Oasis did receive Royal Amplification, it got all those new things like the Ultimate Abyss Slide, the water slides, laser tag, escape room, new dining.
El Loco Fresh.
Which is the dining. So all of those things coming into play there. We highly recommend it. Now, you did say you would have to drive from Georgia to New York, and you're referencing Cape Liberty in New Jersey, Bayonne, where we sailed out of on Anthem. And you're right, Oasis is doing those sailings over the summer, but it will also be back in Florida. So check, because there will be options for that as well. That would be much easier for you, regardless of the port, going from Georgia than going up to New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. But yes, in the story, highly recommend it.
It's a great show.
If you go, we hope you have a great time. Marcia says, CLIA, Cruise Lines International Association, has decided that there will be 100% testing for everyone. Is everyone up for that? So again, it's kind of like the mask thing, right? Like, if you're not going to be able to go. So I definitely am. I think we both definitely are.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. It's kind of like how I said with the mask. Like, yes, it's kind of like a bummer and that you have to go through this process, even if you're not showing symptoms and stuff like that. But you're also getting a little more level of insurance, a little more confidence of like, oh, I feel safer on this ship because everyone who's on the ship tested negative.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm personally on board. Get it?
Well, that's actually a good segue, though, to some of the other news about those Singapore sailings that we forgot to mention, is people had been asking, look, if I test positive, if someone in my traveling party tests positive, what's going to happen? Are we out the money? Because you're not going to be allowed to sail, right? And what they're doing for that is just as we speculated it would be, you'll receive a credit in the full amount for the cruise. So you're not going to lose money because you can't sail.
Right.
So, and also, I think there was a stipulation about if you get sick, like within 3 weeks of your sailing, you can cancel it. I mean, right now, if you have the cruise with confidence, but even past that, there was something like you could cancel it and not go, and you would be covered because they don't even want you to put you through that. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think that they're going to leave you hanging out to dry.
That does no one any good.
At least not the CLIA cruise lines.
No, yeah, something smaller. I don't.
Yeah, we don't know, but I really don't. You know, once stuff is in place and stuff like that, like we'll know the exact stipulations and everything. But I really don't see a scenario where you're going to just be out completely.
No. So they did say you can just anticipate similar things being carried over with that.
Yeah.
So, there's still some things to be hammered out. What kind of testing? How does it need to be done? We'll get all those details later on. But rest assured that you won't be out in that sort of way. That was a great question, though. Michael, I talked to you earlier on the phone. One of our clients says, I kind of regret watching YouTube videos on our first cruise on Oasis. I watched so many videos about the ship, touring the ship. Nothing was a surprise.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. If you watch one of our ship tours, that's how it's going to be because we show everything that we can. So.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a give and take. Like, you want to be prepared, but you still want it to, like, be fresh for you and everything.
And that's also one of the approaches we always wanted to take with our channel was just, we're going to provide this. If it works for you and it's something that's helpful, great. And if not, that's understandable. And you can just choose for what's beneficial to you. Because, like, Michael said, he watched the tour he wished he wouldn't have because then nothing was a surprise. For some people, they want to know every nook and cranny, no surprises, everything prepared, and maximize their time. So whatever works best for you.
Yeah, I mean, especially with, like, a first-time cruiser, there might be, like, a level of anxiety there a little bit, and feeling prepared makes you feel more comfortable. Maybe next time, though, like, if you don't want everything to be spoiled, but you still want to watch stuff, maybe you could watch the vlogs but not the ship tour. Because not everything is going to be packed into the vlogs like how a ship tour is. So maybe, like, you could still get some, but not watch the ship tour where every nook and cranny is being shown.
That's an idea.
So maybe.
Don says, I will be your first employee. If we ever look to expand, we will let you know for sure. It'll be at the top of the list. Traveling medic Sam and April said to Michael, there definitely was a little more excitement pre-YouTube when you first saw your ship. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Sure.
You don't have that conceptualization of it. You kind of just show up and it's like, whoa, there it is. And I think we can definitely relate to that. Like, as we said, we don't really watch cruise videos. So when we did first go on Mariner, for example, and it was off and we saw the sky pad and stuff, it was like, whoa, check that out.
We know that's ours because we know it has the
I'll tell you what, though. We have sailed on an Oasis class ship, Oasis itself, as we mentioned. And we've seen them. We've done tour. We've seen them. Every time, though, that you see one, it's like...
It's so huge.
They're
like,
massive. Like,
it's crazy. Have you guys seen, like, the video or videos, like, kind of bouncing around the internet where it, like, compares an Oasis class ship to, like, the Titanic?
Yeah.
And how the Titanic, like, almost looks like a rowboat next to it. Like, it's so tiny. And that was, like...
is a dinghy.
And that was, like, that was, like...
That's it.
That was the biggest ship back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just crazy to see the evolution and just the severe size of Oasis. But honestly, it doesn't feel that overwhelming when you're on it.
So let's just cover that really quick. That's a good point. Clients, viewers, whoever, people we meet and talk to, always ask us, we want to go on an Oasis ship or a Quantum ship, but we're afraid because we don't want big crowds. And obviously those ships do hold way more people than smaller ships. Look, experiences may vary, but we can only tell you what we have experienced. The most crowded we have felt on a cruise, far and away, and this hasn't changed, every cruise we've gone on, was Majesty of the Seas, which is like the second smallest ship in Royal Caribbean's fleet. It doesn't have that many offerings, and so it's like Jurassic Park. They do move in herds.
Yeah.
Everyone moved at the same time to the same things, and so it was always crowded. But when you go on an Oasis class ship, you can obviously be in your room. You can go to the promenade. You can go to Central Park. You can go to the boardwalk. You can go to the Aqua Theater. You can go up on the pool deck. You can go to the water slides. You can go to the Ultimate Abyss slide. All those different things, escape room, arcade. There's so many different places to spread out to and things to do that, yes, there's more people on board, but it doesn't feel as crowded. And Anthem was the same way.
I think because, like, with a smaller ship, because there's less offerings, everyone is kind of like going through the same schedule almost because there's only so many options of things you can do, so people end up like doing the same things. Whereas with Oasis, there are so many things going on all the time. It's like people, like you said, it's not a herd, it's going in different directions.
Yeah, they even break it down into neighborhoods. It is starting to rain a little bit.
It's raining.
But we're in the porch, so we're good.
Let us know if the rain becomes bothersome sound-wise, and we'll go inside.
Right now, it's just a nice ambient, peaceful drizzle.
It's Florida, though. We know how that goes.
Yeah. Saver asks, will cruise lines be partnering with travel agents such as yourselves to develop packages to draw travelers back to cruising, or have you seen an increase of travel interest? Definitely more of the latter. 2021 is hot tamale, and early 22, because right now that's basically where we're at with available itineraries, is through April 22. Big time demand, big time. So yeah, a lot of people, we always say book early is always our recommendation, the earlier you can. And a lot of people wanted to hold out because they thought when they got started back up sailing, they would come out with all these deals and offerings. And in fact, they, of course, haven't started back sailing yet, but it's actually been the opposite. Prices increased. And there haven't been those kind of... they have their standard promotions that they always have, but there hasn't been anything far and away different.
Right.
And they said that. They came out and said prices are going to go up. They have to make up for lost revenue. So I don't anticipate seeing anything outside of the norm of what you would usually see because the demand is there.
Yeah. And luckily that's the case. Luckily the situation hasn't just completely put people in arm's length to cruising. But yeah, I think everyone's just rearing and excited and ready to go.
Yeah.
At least that's what what people have told us a lot.
Almost I'd say 98% at least.
Yeah.
They just want to go. So nothing yet. Marcia says, tell the Hawk Plays look into the train instead of driving. Oasis is great. Oh, we can actually recommend that. We took the train from Florida. Amtrak,
yeah, the Amtrak,
to New York twice.
And it was fun.
That was awesome.
We had a little roomette. So
the first time.
Yeah.
Then the second time we had the actual bedroom.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was I like train travel.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to travel by train, so that's a great suggestion. Ken says Hoffites.
Hoffites.
That's an interesting one.
That's a fun one too.
Clodagh says, my issue with the testing is the 72-hour window as I have to fly internationally. Yeah, so that's kind of what we were saying. We got to hammer out some specifics and details and questions. How does a back-to-back sailing work?
Right.
How does a side-to-side sailing work?
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, side-to-side means you're going to go on one ship or cruise line, and when that cruise gets done, instead of a back-to-back, which would be the same one, you're going to go to something different.
Yeah.
So how does that work? We have to get all those questions answered. I think ideally what they would like to have is the rain starts to get stronger and stronger.
How does it sound, guys? Is the rain too loud as it picks up even more?
I guess we need to keep talking though I'm not going to know if it's... Just let us know if it's too much.
Let us know if it's too much.
So, yeah, they got to answer all those questions. We have to figure out how that's going to work. And I think what they would like to have is just rapid testing on site at the terminals before you board. Mm-hmm. They had basically made it sound like they wanted that in conjunction with you getting tested beforehand, but obviously that could present challenges in certain situations, and so anything you can test right then would be more ideal. So maybe that's just the answer for that. Again, we just have to see. Ken says the rain's not too much, so we're just going to keep rolling. It's lightening up anyway, so.
Good.
Saver says, I can hear the rain, but it's currently not to the point of being distracting.
Okay.
Good. All right, so yes, that's that. And then, let's see. Steve says, have you been to Ocho Rios and been to the Blue Hole as an excursion? If so, how was it? Would you recommend? Yes. I think there was only 3 questions.
It was so good, I'm going to say yes 3 more times. Yes,
Maybe
yes,
there were 4 questions. 1, 2,
No,
3. Oh, yeah. Wait, let's see.
Oh,
no, 3.
Oh.
The extra one for fun, though.
I don't take it back.
So not only would we recommend it, we would say it was number 1 or 2. It's in a top 2 of excursion days we've ever had.
It was so cool. The people who ran it were great. They were the happiest, nicest, really funny people.
One love.
It was
Respect, Mom.
It was, and it was great. The people were great. The actual cliff jumping into the water, that was fun.
So fun.
It was fun. The people were very helpful. They helped you kind of do it if you needed to. It was no worries if you got up there and got scared and didn't want to. The jungle with the water and stuff was gorgeous, and then the tubing was fun. It was great.
Yeah, ours was paired with the river tubing, so that was great. And then we got a jerk chicken lunch when we got done with everything that was just sublime, just absolutely delicious. So,
Yeah.
no, it was fantastic. We mentioned earlier that we had the Canadian Out West video that was like 3 minutes, like a montage. Same thing, our Oasis cruise. So for Hawk Plays, it was asking about Oasis, and then as well as this Blue Hole excursion. That was the second.
It was very early.
Second or third video ever posted to this channel was when we went on Oasis of the Seas, and that's when we went to the Blue Hole. And there's several shots.
Yeah.
Anytime you see us jumping off a cliff into water or in a jungle or river tubing, that was all from that excursion.
Yeah, it won't give you like a ton, but it may give you like a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, it shows it pretty good.
Yeah.
You should definitely get a good idea.
It was good though. I highly recommend that excursion if you're up for it.
Yeah.
You know, because it is like a little bit physically taxing.
Yeah.
Because you're going up, you know, like
gotta climb up the stairs.
you're going like up
jump
an you don't like climb anything. You just go up an incline though. But then you have to jump and then you swim and
gotta be able to swim.
yeah, it's great.
Oh, it was wonderful.
We loved
one of the best days we've ever had. Not just excursion. It was just a fantastic day.
It was a good day.
The people were so welcoming. The culture. It was just all around slam dunk. So yes, and in short, we hated it and you shouldn't do it. No.
No, we loved it.
It was fantastic.
It was great.
Highly recommend. Let's see. Clotis says the rain is okay. So, yep, we're good there.
Good.
Don says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Don.
Thank
we
you,
really
Don.
appreciate that. Ken says, have ever thought about going from Bayonne to Bermuda or Bayonne to New England? Not specific. I mean, it's definitely something we would do, but...
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely, like, looked at those things before. I wouldn't say it's, like, high on, like, our priority list kind of thing. But... We're definitely the type where we're up for anything. It's just whether or not it's the right time to do it or not.
We'll go on any cruise.
If we're seizing that opportunity at the moment.
I mean, we'll do almost any travel, and we'll definitely go on any cruise.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
it's just a matter of if it all falls into place. But Marcia says she did Bayonne to Bermuda 3 times and loved it. So
cool.
There you go, Ken. There's a recommendation for you. Jason Gamers 21 says, hi. Hey, Jason. Thanks for joining us again.
Coming.
We appreciate that. And we're caught up, but you guys can still obviously feel free. Send those questions, comments. Doesn't have to be about cruising. We can talk about Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, or any other kind of travel, sandals, Adventures by Disney, whatever. Anything you guys want to talk about. We're here and we're available. So keep sending those questions if you have them. Yeah, so we talked about our upcoming travels, or lack thereof, in the last live stream. So, as we mentioned earlier, the first chance we get to go out, which will probably either be Mariner or Navigator, we're going to be there.
Right.
If, everything's willing and we're capable, that's what's going to happen. So,
yeah.
show you how all that stuff is. And the great thing with that is we've been on both of those ships. And we've done our full video gamut of daily vlogs, ship tour, room tour.
Well, it'll be good too because, we always want to give you guys a ship tour because, a lot of you guys find that helpful. I don't know how possible that's going to be during the reintroduction of cruising, just because I assume, there might be, a lot of areas of the ship closed off during specific times for, cleaning, or just they don't want people in an area not necessary kind of thing. So it'll be really good that both of those ships are ones that we have a ship tour of, so we don't, you're not missing anything. You can go back and refer to the old one if you need to for a ship tour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye, Dawn. Dawn's got to leave. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Dawn. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Let's see. Robert asks, what is one Royal Caribbean ship you want to go on the most that you have not been on yet? That's a fantastic question. Question.
Well, definitely Odyssey.
Odyssey of the Seas. And
which she's not sailing yet, but
no.
she will be.
Oh, gosh. Still being built, was delayed. We were supposed to be on the first sailing November 5th. Obviously, that's not happening. So now she's going to start sailing at the end of April over in Europe. But that is still high on the priority list.
I want to try a Freedom class ship because we haven't done one of those yet.
Yeah, and we did Independence.
Oh, independence is freedom. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but we've just had interest in doing freedom.
Specifically
Going out, right now it's in, or is it right now? Well, nothing right now, but coming up in Puerto Rico, round trip, and it's doing like Southern Caribbean stuff. And it can just do week-longs because you're leaving from Puerto Rico. Usually the Southern Caribbean is more like a 9-night. That's what ours was, or maybe even an 8, because you have need that extra travel time. But going from Puerto Rico, they can do it in a week. So that itinerary is very interesting, and it also received royal amplification.
Right.
And it has some stuff we haven't seen, like the Giovanni's family Italian kitchen and wine bar thing. I don't remember the name, but
that looks cool because they have like a pizza oven, right?
Yeah. It's Giovanni's table that you know and love, but then like redone and modernized and taken to a new experience kind of thing.
And that ship has slides we haven't done, right?
Oh, I think it's that one that has like it's like a quarter pipe slide.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick.
I want to do that.
That's pretty sick. So those, and then love Oasis class. So Symphony, Harmony.
Do all of them.
Yeah, all of those, all the Quantum class ships. And then I think that would be it. Not too much interest on going on the, like we've done Majesty. Don't really care to go on Empress. Or the Vision class. Just for our style of cruising, it just doesn't have enough. I know a lot of people love those, and I understand why. If you're into the, the traditional style of cruising and the throwback and calmer, and those do more special itineraries. But for us, go-getters, activities, and specialty dining, those don't really serve that purpose. And then we've done Jewel of the Seas, which is the Radiance class. So probably pretty good there.
Right.
Well, like we said, we'll go on anything. But the rest of the Quantum/Quantum Plus, the rest of the Oasis class, and then
Liberty.
Liberty would be cool.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
They're not a sponsor.
No.
Wonder of the Seas, which is currently being built, is the newest Oasis class ship. And when that comes out, definitely that one as well.
Definitely.
And then the Royal Icon.
The Royal Icon.
That's going to be a brand new class of ship. So
that'll be exciting.
When those come out. So yeah, looking more towards the future, I think. But that's a great question. So
it is a good one.
Yeah, the rest of those. Quantum, Oasis class, and then Liberty. Oh boy. Oh good. Lots of more questions. Yay.
Lots of more questions.
Jason Gamers 21 asks, what is the best ship you've been on? Oh, it's a good question. I think we had this one on the other night, but for those who didn't see. So we love the Disney ships.
Yeah.
Disney Cruise Line ships are fantastic. We have a lot of nostalgia because we got engaged. We had our honeymoon on there. It was my first 4 cruises, your first 2 cruises. And so we love Disney, obviously.
Specifically Dream.
Dream is our favorite Disney ship.
Yeah.
Now, when you come over to Royal Caribbean, it's probably still Oasis. And especially once we do go on it, now that it's been amplified.
Yeah.
And all those things, I don't know how you could beat it. But Anthem
really
gave it a run.
And I mean, it's right there. Anthem's a really good ship. It's just for different reasons.
And then Odyssey's going to be basically Anthem, but plus Playmakers and plus Skypad and all that exciting stuff.
Honestly, I think Odyssey's going to be really good. But yeah, we love Oasis. And yeah, we do love the Disney ships.
And then a little honorable mention is Navigator. For something that's not that class of ship, like a smaller, quote-unquote, older, quote-unquote, even though it's been amplified ship, Navigator was awesome. Love Navigator.
Navigator is such a bang for your buck in terms of, like, a 3 or 4 night.
Yes.
Like,
I don't know that you could pick a better one other than like the Disney Dream if you're going on Disney, but
yeah. And I mean, Mariner is great too. We just like Navigator a little bit more. Like,
and specifically for what we like.
Yeah, it's not like Navigator is better than Mariner. It's just like just our personality we happen to like a little bit more. Like we prefer the water slides over the Skypad. But some people might prefer the Skypad over the water slide.
Of course.
It's like things like that. It's not a better or worse. It's just like a different option, and what does your personality like more?
That's it.
But
those are our favorites.
Yeah.
Those are great. Let's see. Mew says was on Mariner last summer and really thought it was a nice ship. Not too big and not too small. It is. It's a great ship.
It's a good size.
Good beginner. And that's what Royal Caribbean's been smart about, is they did this Royal amplification and added all these exciting things to these ships and put them on their 3 and 4 night sailings, because that is what most first-time cruisers will do. Yeah. And a lot of cruise lines put their older ships on those itineraries. And Royal said, let's put our best foot forward kind of thing and get new people to come in and expose them to this great world of cruising we have. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic
it's
idea.
definitely a good plan.
Mariner's great. Navigator's great. Which ship did you like most? Independence, Navigator. Navigator.
Navigator.
For us, for sure, Navigator.
Yeah, but I mean, Independence was great too. Independence is more similar to Mariner than to Navigator.
They both have Skypad. They both have Izumi Hibachi.
Yeah.
They don't have the Riptide and Blaster water slides like Navigator does.
Mm-hmm. They're like we knew our way around Independence because we had already been on Mariner and
Very similar.
It's like both of them have the same layout, but Independence was closer to the same offerings to Mariner rather than Navigator. But there's still some differences there.
But personally, Navigator. Like,
Personally,
pretty easily, actually. We liked both, but Navigator we just loved. Let's just see here. Clodagh says, love New England and Canada. Just booked Jewel of the Seas Arctic Crossing, Copenhagen to
Ooh,
Boston.
that
Next
sounds fun.
August. And I'm looking forward to seeing Nova Scotia and Boston again. Wow, that sounds great.
Just that name is cool. Where are you cruising? Oh, I'm going on an Arctic crossing.
Yeah.
Like a real adventurer. That's cool.
That's really cool.
Like, that sounds fun. I like that.
I want to do that. Maybe we'll book that one. Probably not. But got other stuff we got to do. But that sounds awesome. We hope you have a great time.
I assume we're going to do every cruise ever someday.
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 Clodagh also says Freedom is a great ship. So there you go. Well,
Yeah.
we'll be checking into that when we get a chance. Excuse me. Oh, lots more questions. Yay. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Saver says, is a transatlantic cruise to Europe something that you guys would be willing to do at some point?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. We had it was something we had discussed and it didn't work out for some plans, with everything getting canceled and stuff, but no, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, I feel like a transatlantic is like on the cruiser's bucket list. There's like there's certain things like if you're a cruiser like you have to do, and I feel like transatlantic is one of them.
And actually what my preference would be to go over, fly across, do a Mediterranean or British Isles, something like that over there, and then take the transatlantic back at the end of the season.
I agree.
That would be my preference, just because I don't like flying at the end of the trip, because then it's just a nuisance. Like, at least at the beginning of a trip,
There's
I'm
excitement,
excited.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like flying because it's uncomfortable to me. Unless we were in first class, then that would be different. But normally, I'm a big guy. I just don't like sitting in a seat for that long. So I would rather just go ahead and fly, be excited, do something over there, go to like Disneyland Paris or something, and then take the transatlantic back. That would be my ideal. But yeah, either way, we're up for it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Trans-Pacific too.
It'll happen one day.
Yes. One day.
One day.
Robert says, Independence of the Sea vlogs are my go-to source for my Liberty sailing next year.
All right.
Yes, because they are sister ships, there will be a lot of similarities. Some differences, because Independence has received Royal Amplification. Liberty's now delayed, if I'm remembering everything correctly. You have to bear with me. Usually I'm pretty good about that stuff, but with everything that's been going on, it's getting a little muddied.
There's been a lot of extra information to be crammed in.
Yeah,
the
but
old noodle lately.
Same layout,
Yeah.
same design, so you should be able to use those. So thank you for watching those.
Yeah.
Let's see. Steve says, going on Liberty in May. Looking forward to it. Love the Oasis and Allure. Been on those. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Oasis class is great, and have fun on Liberty. Liberty is popular with our friends who sail out of Galveston. That's a go-to in Galveston. They really like that one over there. So
Yeah.
big stuff over there. And then Galveston's getting their new port.
I want to check that out.
That's delayed.
Done. Well, sure.
Unfortunately, everything's delayed. It's all about the food with you, Peter. That got delayed, but when it is done, they'll be able to accommodate Oasis-class ships. That was the plan for Allure, to receive amplification and then go over there, and we were talking about doing that.
Right.
The first Allure sailing out of Galveston at the new port, and then both of those things got delayed, so...
Once Galveston's, done, though, I would like to check out that new port, because, I've been in, we've talked about sailing out of Galveston, too, just, to check it out in general, but checking out the new port, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Let's see. Jason had to leave. He said, well, loved your live stream, but duty calls. So thanks for joining us if you're still here, or if you're watching it later on replay. Thanks for coming by, Jason. Jason Gamers. Then Jason, just Jason, just Jason, says, regarding our Alaska cruise in July, if Canada doesn't open up, will Royal Caribbean switch to leave from Seattle, possibly in lieu of leaving from Vancouver? Thanks for being our travel professionals. Well, thank you for allowing us to be.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure. Here's the problem, though. This goes back to what I was talking about, where currently, under current legislation, cruises leaving from the U.S. have to visit a foreign distant port. And on Alaskan sailings, even if they leave from Seattle, they still have at least one stop in Canada to cover that. And so if Canada ports aren't open, and where do you go? There's not really anywhere else around that's not a U.S. territory. So if Canada, basically, you can't take this for concrete, but if Canada's not open, then Alaska's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's just keep our
probably.
fingers crossed. Good luck. We always shoot good luck. That it'll open up and then we can have Alaska.
Yeah.
John says Cuba is a dream destination. I hope it comes back one day as a destination. It very well may.
Right.
I mean, we can't speak for legislators or politicians or anyone that makes those decisions, but
Right.
Cuba was popular. People were wanting to do that and go there, and in the very short time that they had that opportunity.
Right.
And the cruise lines were really pushing that, and they had moved a lot of stuff around to make that happen. So
I
wouldn't
mean,
be surprised if one day you saw it again.
I definitely think the cruise lines are still up for it. It's just, whether or not they're going to be allowed to.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Good luck.
That's just.
We're gonna wear out the powers of the song.
Well, if we did that every time someone needed good luck right now, like that's all we would do.
Oh boy.
We all need lots of one big one for the whole world.
That's right. Let's see. Billy says, my wife and I had our first cruise on Navigator in 2005. Loved it.
Oh,
Very cool.
cool.
Throwback. That's awesome. Way before it had all the new fancy bells and whistles.
Yeah.
But glad you had a great time.
Yeah, that's great.
Clodagh asks, transatlantic group cruise?
Oh man.
My goodness, that would be fun. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to have enough people be able to commit to that, but
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Because that's a long cruise.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that would be awesome.
that would be.
I mean, we're up for it, but
yeah, we're up. We have some flexibility. But yeah, I am. But would you tell us? Would you guys do a transatlantic cruise? Not group or anything like that. But like, is that too long for you to be on a cruise, or do you like is the longer the better?
yeah, a lot of people can only get a week's vacation from work,
Right.
and that's not enough time, not even close. So
But we've also heard some people just say too, like, we love cruising, but like after a week, like, I'm good.
yeah,
kind
that's
of
true.
thing.
Or people are nervous about sailing, doing that many days in a row in the open
Or
ocean.
like, that far away from land.
So
yeah.
there's a lot of considerations there. Again, we would be up for it. I don't know that unfortunately, that the logistics of it will make it work out, but we would like to definitely do a group cruise at some point.
Yeah,
So,
one day we will.
got to get back to normal first, but we're
Yes.
looking forward to it. Robert said I was correct. Liberty has been delayed for the amplification. I thought so.
Gotcha.
Yes, so that is unfortunate, but hopefully it will receive it at some point soon. Baby Girl Panda says thinking about going on Freedom of the Seas in August. Yeah, there you go. If
That's
it's
a
still
good one.
doing those, like I said, those Puerto Rican sailings to go into the Southern Caribbean, sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it does.
So have fun if you go. Robert asks, are they still going to be limited to a single Royal Caribbean ship when the port is renewed in Galveston? If I'm honest, I haven't looked into that yet. If I'm honest, I haven't either.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Well, one, it's not done yet. So,
Right.
and two, it just kind of completely got put on the back burner.
Yeah,
Right now.
And so once that happened, I kind of stopped paying attention to it. Most of our business is out of Florida. We've actually had quite a bit out of Galveston because anyone who watches us from out west or in the Midwest or anything like that, or people that live in Texas, we have several clients in Texas. Obviously, they go out of Galveston, but for us, unfortunately, it's kind of been a little out of sight, out of mind because we have so many ports here that we've been focused on, and then we went out of New Jersey back in January, so that's kind of been more at the forefront of our mind. So I'm not sure. I'll look into that and maybe have that answer next time if I can remember to bring it up, if they'll be able to do that. Or if one of you guys knows, feel free to chime in and let us know about it. Billy asks, which restaurant do you prefer, Chops or Giovanni's Table?
Oh, that's
It's a
good question.
head-to-head. It's a Joker versus Joker showdown. Practical Joker is my favorite show.
Giovanni's Table.
Giovanni's Table, for sure.
Here's the thing. There has other than Jewel of the Seas, every other time we've had Chops and Giovanni's, we enjoyed our Giovanni's more than Chops.
Yes.
But Jewel of the Seas was the best chops we went to, and our least favorite Giovanni's table.
That's true.
So that one was the exception.
I think there was a little circumstantial there with the Giovanni's, but we did Giovanni's, was our first specialty dining ever on Oasis, our first Royal Cruise on Oasis in September 2017, and we sat outside in Central Park. We had a great server. She was wonderful, got us hooked up with everything. The food was delicious, and that was just a wonderful experience. And then we also went back to Giovanni's table on Independence of the Seas and had
that was great.
a similar thing. Now, not dining outside, of course, that wasn't available, but we had a nice window seat with a flower box.
Yeah.
You can see that on the day 2 vlog, Independence of the Seas.
It's been too long.
Go to the Independence
day
of the
2
Seas
sounds
playlist, and you'll see it on there. I think it's day 2. I think even the thumbnail is us sitting at the...
That I do know is correct.
At that. So you'll see that there. But those were just fantastic meals. Love those. And then Chops. Chops is good, but it's always... Now, I would say always, because the Jewel one was fantastic. But other than that, it's always just a little disappointing.
I don't even think disappointing is the right word. I think it's just... I think it's not as much, like, made for us, I think.
Yeah.
I mean...
I know what you mean, but at the same time, like, the side dishes just aren't usually very good.
Okay.
The service has not been...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to knock Chops because I don't think it's, like, bad in any way.
I don't think it's bad. Like I said, just a little... I feel like you're paying a premium to go to the steakhouse, which is supposed to be, like, you know, other than the chef's table or something, like, the top of the line.
Yeah, and I will say there's been like a little bit more inconsistencies with Chops, like in terms of like the steak being cooked like fully correctly or not. There's been some inconsistencies.
But
there.
You're right. We are not fancier. It's a much fancier, intimate.
I feel like Giovanni's is like, it's still nice, like it's a specialty restaurant, but it's like a little bit more on the casual side than Chops, and that's where we're more comfortable. So we tend to enjoy just that kind of atmosphere more. But I do agree with you that like, in terms of like, it hasn't been like a home run every time because like sometimes like the steak and stuff is like a little bit off. But not, once again, not like it's bad, but just... Like you said, if you're paying that premium kind of thing.
We love our specialty dining on Royal Caribbean, though.
We do.
Chops would just be maybe more towards the bottom of the list. Again, like Chelsy said, not bad by any means, just other things we prefer. Giovanni's, Izumi, Jamie's Italian. Wonderland was a great experience. That was such a pleasant surprise. Please try Wonderland if you get the chance, because like I'm a super picky eater. Chelsy considers herself maybe a little bit of a picky eater. And, you know, the food there is supposed to be kind of weird and different. And we thought it was just going to be something we would enjoy the show and filming. But it was so good, too.
It was like... It was interesting both visually, but interesting, like, palette-wise. Like,
oh, wow.
Like, it was just... It was odd, but in a good way. It's like, oh, this is what it's like when people know what they're doing with putting flavors together.
They served this thing in like a lime where they cut it out and put like a sherbet ice on top.
Yeah.
And then there was this green stuff, and I asked the green stuff was delicious. Try the gray stuff, it's delicious. The green stuff. And I asked the server what it was, and she said it was like an avocado mousse. We don't even like avocado.
No, don't. Tried it. Don't
like it like at all. We're not about that cado.
No, but...
Free shavacado.
But that mousse? That mousse we were.
I don't know what they did to it. It was good, buddy.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just... That was like just a... That was basically an eye-opening experience of like, don't knock it till you try it. Or don't like assume.
Yeah.
Like, try it.
Go in. Do it. It was really fun. Really fun. We did it on Anthem this past sailing in January. Our latest sailing. And... fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic time. You can see that in the Anthem of the Seas playlist. Day number, I don't remember, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it was 4 or 5. Chelsy's sitting outside of the restaurant in the fancy chair, and it says Wonderland, Imaginative Cuisine in the thumbnail. So click that one.
That's the one.
That's the one. So if you want to check that out. Real quick, Aaron says, Hoffman's, I've missed you guys. Well, we've missed you.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
We appreciate it. Let's see here. Robert says, how many people are needed to make a group cruise happen? I'm about to do a back-to-back sailing, so transatlantic is definitely on my list. So, it's a little bit different what we're talking about here. When we say group cruise, we're talking about, like, Hoffman Happy Travels
cruise.
You guys and us will be there and we'll do things together, that kind of thing.
Like it's an event together.
But if you want to know about making a group on Royal Caribbean Sailing and thus qualifying for group rates and group amenities, and there's a lot of stuff to get into with that, the minimum is 8 cabins booked double occupancy. So at least 2 people in those rooms, and you need at least 8 cabins. And depending on what sailing it is and how many rooms you have and all that jazz, depends on the rate that you'll get, as well as how many group amenity points you will be awarded. And then you can use those as a menu you can choose from to redeem those points for different things. It can be onboard credit, it can be a discount on the room, it can be a fruit tray, it's all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. So that's like if you're doing a group, if you have a group. But when we say group cruise, we mean like you guys and us going and having fun together.
Cruising together.
Yeah, lots of people have asked about that. So if there continues to be interest in it, that's something we would definitely like to do.
Definitely.
Steve says, I believe Allura will eventually depart from Galveston, supposed to be in 2021, however, believe 2022. Right, so yeah, going back to what we were referencing earlier. It was going to go there, now delayed, but I think that's definitely something they still want to do. Saver says, which do you prefer, Disneyland and Disney World? I've been lucky enough to have visited both in my life, but I prefer Disney World more. Oktoberfest at Epcot is a must. So,
that's a tricky question.
It's a tricky question because we have so much history and nostalgia with Disney World.
Yeah.
Having been, we talked about this the other night, but for those who didn't see, Florida residents our whole life, going to Disney our whole life, and then that's what, like, how we first became friends in high school.
Right.
It was like that common interest in Disney, and when we started dating in high school, and then we started going together, then I used to work there. Got married there at the wedding pavilion, and we talked about the proposal and the honeymoon on the Disney cruise.
Right.
So
it's just Disney World has always been part of our lives. Then we went to Disneyland, and that was probably like one of the most special trips we've ever done.
That was my favorite thing ever.
I don't know. It's just, you know what? It's just a completely different vibe and feeling between the two of them. I think World is so good and like how many options you have, like both parks and not in the parks. You can, you have 4 parks to go to. You have Epcot with the, World Showcase and stuff, which is like very special and like very like irreplaceable. And, and then you have you have extra parks, and then you also have all the resorts to go to, and you can resort hop. When it's the holiday time, you can go and see their holiday decoration. There's something like very special about that. But with it being bigger, it comes with, bigger crowds and like kind of maybe a little bit more hecticness. Whereas Disneyland, it was, I don't know, it felt like, going to a home I didn't know I belonged in.
It was very authentic. It's still, like, you could tell people worked there when Walt Disney was there.
Yeah.
And that has just continued on. And the thought and care that was put into everything. Not that they don't do a great job in Disney World, but it's just the numbers that you're talking about here. It's just crazy. Over there was a much more special, genuine, intimate experience, I think. And funnily enough, you'll have people from both sides who are very protective, like, ours is better. But outside of those, it seems to be, if you've grew up more on Disney World, you like Disneyland better, and vice versa.
I think it's just the grass is greener. It's whatever's new and exciting to you at the time. But I mean, both of them like are special places to us for different reasons.
I think we would definitely like to keep having Disney World as our home base that we're accustomed to, and keep Disneyland as like a special thing that we go to once or twice or 10 times a year, whatever it might be. Oh man, it was just the best trip. And if you'd like to see that, there is an entire playlist for Disneyland. There was several daily vlogs and room tours for our hotels and all kinds of fun stuff. So
it was great. So long, was it long answer short, long?
I guess the opposite.
Yeah.
Short story long.
We don't have an answer. We love both, but for different reasons.
Very different reasons. Glad you enjoy the Oktoberfest, though. That's not something we have partaken in personally, but
no. But I mean, we love the food festivals. Like we love Flower and Garden, and
yeah, we actually like Flower and Garden a little bit more than Food and Wine.
But I think I like Festival of the Holidays the most.
Well, we love Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and all the other special holidays. That's what I like. It's you get Christmas stuff, but the Hanukkah stuff, the Jewish stuff, is actually probably my favorite food there.
Oh, it's so good.
They have like the pastrami sandwich, and then they have that cookie that was there. That was really good. I mean, the jelly-filled donuts.
Oh, they had on this pastrami sandwich, they had the house-made pickles.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What are those donuts called? Is it like sufganya? I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I think that it's like Sufganya or something like that.
I have no idea.
I think. I'm clearly showing my ignorance on it, but I would like to know if anyone has the answer to that. And if you could give me like a phonetic breakdown on how to say it, I've always been curious. I could probably just ask Google, but I didn't think to until right now. And I would like to just discuss it with you instead. But Festival of Holidays is awesome.
Yes.
At Epcot, and that's coming up.
Very soon.
Ken says, Chops seating is too close. Agreed. Yes. What is up with that? Like, well, it's supposed to be an intimate experience. Like, well, let's have it be an intimate experience among our party. And then this party has their intimate experience. Just a little more.
The only time we didn't see that was on Anthem when the one time we didn't eat there.
We were supposed to, too, but Izumi was too good. And we could not pass up going back. So, Chops got the boot.
I don't even mind so much if the tables are close because they have to be, but like if you're close back to back versus like side to side.
And that was the thing too. Anthem turned it so it was back to back, so both people could see out the window. Now they were facing the lifeboats. Little odd choice there.
But it's still better.
It's still better.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other ships we've been on, like my back would face the window.
Right.
And Chelsy would be facing like, why do it like that? Why not have both people be able to look out? So. We agree with you, though, Ken. Mm-hmm. You're spot on. Robert says, I agree. I was very disappointed in my Chops experience on Enchantment. It felt rushed for extra money and just barely better food than the main dining room. I will say, we have felt we don't usually ever feel like, when we first started getting into stuff like this, we would hear people say, like, it felt rushed, and we never had really experienced anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I kind of know what you mean, because there has been times where it's like you felt like they just wanted to turn tables because they had oversold it. And it was like, you're done with that? Okay, next. Like,
I think it's just because that one gets booked more because it's like when you think of a specialty restaurant for Royal, you think of Chops. Like, that's their...
Yeah. I think people also go more on a whim to that one. Like, how about we get a steak tonight? Like, let's go to the thing.
It's like, you know what to expect, so you're more willing to, like, just, like, go to that.
It could also be more of a surprise, too. And so people don't book it ahead because they don't want to ruin the surprise for someone.
Possibly.
I don't know. These are all thoughts and ideas.
Right.
But they also usually seem to be a little understaffed, specifically in Chops.
Yeah.
I don't know. But interesting that you've had that same thing happen. Oh, good. Lots of questions. Okay, we're going to start. We'll pick up the
Let's
pace.
go. Let's go.
Saver says, also, since you can visit both Universal and Disney World recently, which park do you believe has handled COVID-19 better? Honestly, they were both fantastic.
Yeah. I don't
think I could give anyone the edge. They were both very, very good about it.
I agree. There really wasn't any problems. The only thing I would say is that, you know, the water park, because Universal has Volcano Bay open. Disney does not have their water parks open yet. That one is like maybe a little harder to control because it's water based, so like you don't have to wear masks there unless you're in like certain areas. So that's like probably like a little bit harder for we never felt like bad.
No.
Like we went back because like we were okay with it and like we didn't feel unsafe, but like I'm just saying it's like maybe a little harder animal to tame.
Sure.
But honestly, between Universal and Disney, they both enforced everything and they both essentially had the same rules. So,
yeah. It was very similar. They both did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I didn't feel uncomfortable at either. We haven't been to SeaWorld, but we've kind of heard from other people that not so much there. We can't speak to that personally.
Sure.
But I feel like Disney and Universal is pretty neck and neck.
Both doing a fantastic job. Also, speaking really quick of Volcano Bay, for those who may have not heard, and this could apply to you, you know, Volcano Bay, they had recently said they weren't going to be open on Tuesdays and Thursdays for each week now just because of limited demand. Actually going to be closing here, I think, at the beginning of November until March. So this won't be open at all for several months because of lower demand, because of colder weather, They're just going to put it all together and not even be open. So
Right.
keep that in mind if you're planning a trip to Universal Orlando, you're thinking about buying annual passes or tickets of any kind, Volcano Bay will not be, currently will not be available at that time.
Right.
Good question, though. Great question. Baby Girl Panda says, do you think Royal is going to continue the card ship pass? Honestly, for a while, but overall, no. I think the Sea Pass cards will eventually... You're going to see more of a mobile thing on the app. And they also have WOW bands, which we're just talking about Disney World, like a Magic Band or like Tapu Tapu at Volcano Bay. On certain Royal Caribbean ships, like Quantum class ships and even now the newer Oasis class ships, they have those WOW bands that you can either purchase or if you're in a suite, they're given to you. And it works like your room key and, you know, charging and stuff.
Now, the only thing, at least currently with those right now, is that you still have to take your actual card when you disembark.
Yes.
You can't use it for, like, reimbursement.
But I do think they would like to move to something to where...
I personally would prefer that.
Now, they'll probably always have a hard card as a backup. Like at Disney, for example, you don't have to have a Magic Band. You can still get a standard RFID room key card. But yeah, I do think you'll see them changing that. For sure. More and more as time goes on.
Yeah.
Tina says, hello from Toronto, Canada. Hello!
Oh, hello.
Friends up north. We love Canada. Have you sailed on Norwegian Cruise Line? Just curious of your impressions of Norwegian. Thanks. Well, unfortunately, no. We have not sailed on Norwegian Cruise Line. We did do a ship tour of the Norwegian Epic.
Yes.
When it first debuted, when we were doing our initial training as travel agents. And liked it.
Yeah, it was nice.
I was impressed with that ship.
Yeah, it definitely has some things to offer.
We can tell you, based on what our clients will tell us, we do have, like we said, most of our business is with Royal Caribbean. We do have some clients that do Norwegian. They, you know, some of them really like it. Like a lot of certain things about it. The Free at Sea is a very popular promotion where you get certain things that you can choose included. The biggest complaints we've heard about Norwegian is that... It's a bad term, but it's always what's thrown around is like nickel and dime. So, you know, you pay for your cruise, but then you're going to have to pay for laser tag, for example. Whereas laser tag on Royal Caribbean is included.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that on Norwegian. Or if you're going to do go-karts, or you're going to do this or that or the other. And I mean, you're seeing a shift like that in cruising industry in general, right? All food used to be included, and now we have specialty restaurants. I think the thing with Norwegian that they're battling with is more along the lines of like the laser tag.
Like the activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Royal charges for an escape room, and that makes sense to limit demand and so people don't redo it and mess it up. That I think is understandable. But when one cruise line is offering laser tag for free and then the other one is charging for it, I think that's a little bit hard of a sell. And Norwegian prices tend to be kind of high. So that's not to say that they're always higher. You should look into it, and we hear a lot of good things about Norwegian. But
yeah, I think it's one of those things. Like Norwegian can definitely be a good option, like under certain situations, like if the free at sea. Free at sea. I always want to say free and sea. That's not right. If that is something that would be beneficial to you, like for example, like with a beverage package or something, because beverage packages are so expensive, and if you can get that under that umbrella, like it might make a lot of sense for you to do Norwegian. But you know, if that stuff doesn't benefit you as much, maybe not as much.
Yeah. So just consider it.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about, but it would definitely be a weighing kind of thing.
Great question, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Aaron says, Be Our Guest was the first Disney restaurant I ate at, and the great stuff is legit delicious.
Oh, man. What a good one to be your first one. It's so epic in there, isn't it?
Be Our Guest is very, very cool. Great theming. Pricey, especially nowadays. They changed to the prefix menu. But, wow, very cool, especially if you can eat in the main dining room closer to the window with the snow falling.
Yeah,
and such.
like that iconic room, like the dance room.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool experience. Glad you enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Robert said he was specifically meaning a Hoffman Happy Travels group cruise,
Oh,
not just
okay.
groups in general. Would love to cruise with you guys. Yeah, well, that's great to hear. So a lot of people have said that. It's definitely something we would like to make happen. Unfortunately, that's, not going to happen anytime soon. But once we're back up and running to normal and everything, we'll be looking at it and seeing, what might work for everyone. We'll probably run some polls
Sure.
on our channel and social media, like what kind of itineraries would work best and what time of year and all that, just to get a consensus.
Sure.
And then we'll move forward with that. But it's definitely, there's been a lot of support for that, so that's something we would very much like to do. Very much like to do. Aaron says, my wife and I honeymooned at Disney World. Very cool.
Oh, nice.
We kind of did. I mean,
we did. I mean, we lived in Orlando at the time, but I mean, we got married at Disney and then we stayed there for a couple days after. So, I mean, we had like our immediate honeymoon there, but then we did like our big honeymoon like,
on the cruise.
The summer after, yeah.
And that was great too.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Glad you guys, it seems like you enjoyed it, so.
That's like a good place to have like those kinds of memories at.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Especially if you are the type to like go back like pretty often, because then you're always gonna like kind of think of that a little bit.
It
every
is.
time you go.
Well, it's really cool too for us because we got married at Disney at the wedding pavilion. So now every time we go and we see it, it's like, hey, there
yeah,
it
like
is.
we ride by on the monorail. It's like, oh, we were there.
And it's like, couples can get married.
And it's like,
remember the old monorail voice? Where it was like, now it was like yelling about everything.
Right.
Please stand clear of the door. And now it's like, if you look to your right, Seven Seas Lagoon. But yeah, so it was cool. Man, that was a great experience. We've had some people ask about Disney weddings, like, would we recommend it? And yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was really easy.
And also, we got married, over 7 years ago now. So we don't know what the current pricing is, but, or over 8 years ago now.
Yeah. Yep.
This year just flew by.
Yeah.
We were just
in an
talking
interesting way.
Yeah.
In an interesting way.
We were just talking about Disneyland, and that was our 7th anniversary, so I was thinking that. But yeah, now with this one, so 8. So we don't know what the current prices are like, but, the package that we did, which is only for a smaller attendance wedding, was not as expensive as you might think it would be. So
I think, like, when you hear, like, getting married at Disney, like, you think about, like, people getting married, like, at the castle, and it, like it being, like, $1 million. But they have, like, a lot of different types of things that you can do, and a lot, and, like, this, yeah, we had, like, the smallest one.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a lot of people attending anyway, so that worked for us.
But they didn't cut corners. It was smallest,
Right.
and then we had the smallest number of attendees and the smallest price. But it was in the wedding pavilion with the castle in the background, full photography and all this stuff. Now, of course, you add on the flowers and such, but it was reasonable.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for us.
It was great.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're thinking about something like that, look into it for sure. Let's see here. Steve says, hope everyone has a great weekend. Look forward to cruising soon. Thank you, Steve, for joining us.
Thanks
Hope
for
you have a great
coming.
weekend as well. Hopefully we can get back to cruising soon.
We will.
Yes.
We will. We will.
We will.
We will.
Chelsy says, I have been to Paris, Tokyo, World, and Land. Each are unique in their own way. I enjoy seeing the differences. My husband will say Tokyo is his favorite.
That seems to be the general consensus.
We have full plans to attend every Disney theme park in this world. We have checked off the 4 at World. We have checked off the 2 at Land. And now we're looking to go abroad. And I would have to say Tokyo is the one we're...
Oh, we're definitely looking the most forward to Tokyo.
Forward to it, yeah.
I'm not saying that's the one we're going to go to first.
No.
But...
And we're looking forward to all of them. But Tokyo...
We have only heard, like, such good things from Tokyo.
Oh,
We're
very excited for that one.
It's nice to be, like, excited for travel again, because, like, you can taste it, like, coming back. It's like, oh, I can kind of get excited a little bit about doing stuff again. But, yeah.
Aaron says, last time we went to Disneyland, we caught the end of Food and Wine and the beginning of Mickey's Christmas Party. That's a great time. That sounds like a great time. Getting both of those things in.
Definitely.
Fantastic. And, Disney World. He corrected.
Okay, yeah.
But, yeah, same. Tina says, thank you for your detailed answer. Very much appreciated about Norwegian. Yes, absolutely.
No problem.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. If you have any more, just let us know. Ken says, Matt, trust me, you do not want to mess up on how many years you are married.
Oh, it's okay, because I forgot to.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's funny, like, people always, I get it. That's why people always make those jokes. Like, one of our clients the other day said, like, something about, like, how the boss lady feels about it. Like,
yeah.
And, I mean, I totally understand the joke, but that is not us at all.
No. Yeah. It just never has been, really.
No.
I don't know. I think...
It's like how we talked about the business, like, everything's equal. Like, that's how we look at it.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. I feel like we've always just been kind of, like, on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
You know, like, when we were friends, and then, like, you know, when we started dating, and it's just been kind of the same since we got married.
Yeah.
I think, too, we're around each other, like, 24/7. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we, you know, obviously we live together, we work together and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, I think it helps, like, make things more simpatico.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have a lot of time, like, I don't know, like, leveling each other out, I guess.
And being the smarty pants that I am, I will point out that I technically wasn't wrong. I said we have been married for over 7 years. So I was technically correct. And that's the best kind of correct.
Yeah, and we've definitely been to Walt Disney World
Well over
100 times.
Throwback to Wednesday night for those who were here.
Yeah.
But no, definitely get the joke. That's funny. Robert says, how long does it matter? You are together forever, and after this year, time is just a useless construct.
You're right.
I agree. Yes,
Agree.
we view time as a useless construct in a certain way, and then we also value it like more than anything else in a certain way.
Yeah, it's like what we care most about, like, taking advantage of.
Yeah.
And, like, not wasting. But, like, I don't know, like, because we dated for a long time before we got married. So I kind of just feel like you've been in my life for forever now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like dating, marriage, like, it's all just kind of goes to, like, it's been a long time.
Well, we are approaching the point, we still have ways to go, but we are approaching the point where we will have been together longer than we had not been.
Oh, like within our age? Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. Yeah, time is money to us, though, in another sense. Like, we don't really care about money. Like, we don't like to buy things. We just want to travel.
Right.
That's what we dump our money into, and that's time. And so that's what we value, is being able to do those things together. That's how we even got into this.
Right.
Like we talked about earlier, you were working in school. I was working in the school after Disney, after we had moved, and then that just, like, wasn't cutting it. So we wanted to work from home and work together, and it just turned into this. So
yeah, life took us where it was supposed to.
And we love it.
Yeah.
Every second of it. Okay, we are now all caught up, but you can feel free to keep sending those. We are over... Oh, yeah, we're getting up to it here in time. So if you guys have any more questions or comments, feel free to send them now. Otherwise, we're going to probably start wrapping things up here. So, like we said, look for us to do probably Mariner or Navigator, whatever one heads out first. It seems like those will be first on the docket, hopefully in December.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll definitely let you know of any updates when we find them. But yeah, right now it's just kind of, let's get these test cruises in the water, like, send good vibes for them to go well, and, you know, and then hopefully it'll be sailings, real ones with guests.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I think this coming week our video will just be a little fun, interesting thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
It's nothing spectacular or anything, but it should be fun. Should get everyone start getting more excited for cruising to return. Kind of like when we did our cruise at home.
Oh, that was fun.
It's not going to be another cruise at home, but
yeah.
it'll be something fun along those lines, and we'll get ready for that. And then also we're going to be looking to go, of course, Disney, Universal, hitting those back up. So we'll have more of that for you until we can get on a cruise again. So, and anything that happens to come up in between.
That's
then
our
we'll
plan.
be here doing live streams and hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Robert, getting another question in here. Which port in Florida would you recommend for someone from out of state to sail from for Royal Caribbean? So personally, I wouldn't choose by the port. I would looking at doing an anniversary cruise in 2025 and looking at Florida. Woo! You are planning ahead.
Yeah, it's
like
good though. It's good.
I like it. So personally, wouldn't choose by the port. Would choose by the ship, and then just go with whatever port that ship happened to be at. But if you're asking us which port we like the most, it would be Port Canaveral.
Yeah, I definitely think that's, like, the easiest one too.
It's very calm.
Like,
It's beautiful too.
Port Canaveral has a lot of good ships, and it's Miami just has so much action. It can kind of get a little hectic down there. But Port Canaveral has really nice terminals, but it's not, like, super slammed. It's not as crazy. But if you're looking for the most options, Miami has a ton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So look for probably one of those would be our recommendation. But again, look what ships are going to be there. Choose and itineraries, and choose which one you like the most, and then just go with whatever port that is. The port is such a small part of it, but if you are going to factor that in heavily to your decision, those would be the ones we would lean towards. K, like Agent K, Men in Black.
Oh, Agent K.
Well, no, it just says K.
Oh,
but
okay.
I said like Agent
But
K.
like that. Gotcha.
How you know my name?
How you know my name?
As a first-time cruiser looking to cruise once we are normal again, is solo cruising weird? My long time LTGF, long time. I'm not hip on the kids' vernacular. I'm guessing long-time girlfriend left a month ago and ready to do new things. Oh, that's a great attitude.
Yeah.
Good for you. No, that's not weird.
No, and I think it's only becoming more and more common. You see like one-person studio rooms coming, being more common on ships nowadays. You see more like single, like kind of mixer things, kind of like being like a part of the itinerary. I think that's just becoming more and more common. And I mean, we have clients and we know people who do solo like cruising or traveling, and they love it. And if you find it fun, it's not weird at all. Like, just have a good time.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
And if you're curious about those studio rooms that Chelsy mentioned that are only for one person, you cannot put any more than that. It can only be one, and you're not charged the double occupancy that a lot of other staterooms would charge you. Check out our Anthem of the Seas playlist. There is a room tour there of a studio cabin on that ship, and that'll give you an idea of what that might be like. But they're not just on that ship. They're starting to put them on more and more ships, and not just Royal Caribbean. Norwegian has done this, and other cruise lines are starting to put them in as well. So we say go for it.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think it's weird at all. Robert says, Freedom Class appears to be the biggest ships we are comfortable with. Do you think Royal Caribbean will just keep going bigger and then dropping those smaller ships? I mean, I think, yeah, for the most part, they get a quicker return on their investment with bigger ships, and people like the bigger ships, and they have the most things on the bigger ships, and they can take more people on the bigger ships. So I don't foresee it like, okay, for now, this new class of ship, we're going to build another smaller one. I don't think so. I think it'll probably continue to be bigger and bigger, and but they'll keep those ones going for a while.
And it doesn't even mean necessarily like as big as Oasis. Like, it doesn't mean like, oh, each ship is going to be bigger than Symphony, and then that's going to be bigger.
It could just
because I mean they made Odyssey, and that's not as big as Oasis,
right? But they are bigger than the Freedom Class. And obviously that's definitely up to you and your personal decision. If you happen to miss what we said earlier, don't let the big ships intimidate you. We have found them to be the most enjoyable. And not crowded because people could spread out and there are so many things to do. But yeah, if you're not wanting to do that, then Freedom Class would be an option for that. You can also look at Voyager class ships, especially the ones that have been amplified, like Mariner or Navigator, and keep those things in. But yeah, I think for the future, you're probably gonna let's look what's on the docket, right? Spectrum is the newest one. Before that was Symphony. Those are both Oasis and Quantum or Quantum Plus class ships. And then the newest ones that are being built right now, Odyssey is a Quantum Plus, and then Wonder is a Oasis class. So, yeah. Right now it's trending big. Trending big for sure. Clodus says, I love solo cruising. Yeah. I have met so many friends from all over the world. That's awesome. So there you go, Kay. Look at that. Yeah, we got some more support for it there. Yeah. And Kevin Anderson says, I would love to solo cruise, but my wife won't let me. Yikes.
I'm glad we're all being honest.
Yeah. Truth will set you free.
No, but yeah, I think, I definitely think it's becoming more and more popular, and I think you're more likely to find like a lot of people in your same situation. Yeah. Than maybe you would like several years ago.
Yeah, especially on these newer ones, on the shorter sailings, you find a lot of that. When we went on Mariner, which was a 4-night, there seemed to be a lot of that going on. Yeah. A lot of solos. But, a lot of solo travelers will cruise with friends even, just to, if you're not romantically involved, but then go with a friend or something. Then with a family member, and then you can make it a group. But even if you just want to go by yourself, you don't know anyone else on that ship, you can do it. And you can meet up with people, or you can just do your own thing. Yeah. And you have a great time either way.
Make it an adventure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's that. All right, guys, we are all caught up again. Any last-minute questions, feel free to send them. We'll be happy to sit here and answer them almost as long as you'll keep sending them. We eventually have something to do, but we'll be happy to stay here for a while longer if you have anything else. But yeah, look for the fun video coming this week, and then more Universal, more Disney, stuff like that, theme park stuff coming. and eventually
Yeah.
cruise stuff.
We'll
So,
get there. We're making baby steps, and it feels good making those steps, and we'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, we'll remind you though that we are travel agents, as we mentioned many times throughout this video, and our services are always complimentary. So if you're looking to book a Royal Caribbean cruise, maybe something like that, feel free to reach out to us via the travel agent information you can find on our channel or in the description of this video. We'll be happy to help in any way we can. And as we mentioned, it is complimentary, so you won't pay more than you would going direct to use us. Sometimes it'll be even less. Sometimes we get you price discounts, and as the price drops, we monitor it. We can do those changes for you.
Yeah.
And we don't charge any kind of service fee or anything like that. So we'd be happy to help you with that. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Robert says, always helpful. Thanks for the insights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert, for the questions.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Yes,
we
thank
enjoyed
you for
it.
coming. It's always a blast to do live stream. We'll look forward to doing the next one. We had 2 this week, so that was really cool. And they both were very successful and enjoyable. We'll look forward to doing the next one, though. Thanks for all the great questions and comments and insights and discussion. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you, like checking in with family, says Ken.
Aw,
Thank you so much. Yeah,
thanks.
that's how it feels. It's awesome to be able to have these discussions
Yeah,
like this.
it's really
So thanks
good.
to the technology that lets us do it, especially in these times. So
Yeah, definitely.
always good to have that. But we hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Look forward to cruising. And as always,
Happy travels!